Hello, and thank you for taking some time to provide feedback on our theory of action to this point. By way of reminder, we've had about 80 stakeholders representing a variety of people in our district working on what we would consider to be the first draft of our current theory of action. So what I'm going to do over the next few slides is walk you through where the work is to this point, and what we're really interested in, of course, is your feedback to improve this theory of action work as we move forward. So the conversations began a couple months ago. The committee has met 2 times. We're collecting feedback now through March and into April, and then the committee is scheduled to meet again both in April and May. And really the conversation started with how can we deliver on the vision? And the vision for the district is excellence for all. And so in our first couple of meetings, we've done some grounding work to really take a look at where we are related to our current state. So we've spent time in discussion about growth mindset and what is a growth mindset and in what way would growth mindset impact this work and conversation. We've also spent time as a group taking a look at what is a theory of action, what's a theory of action intended to do, and essentially we've talked about our vision, our data, our beliefs, and we've looked at a variety of sources, and through that process we have identified what we would consider to be 6 big ideas. And so on this slide what you'll notice is through a process that has been iterative, we have taken from lots and lots of ideas and distilled down to these 6 ideas, and you're going to learn more about that here in just a second. You can see those 6 big ideas on the screen, and they are student learning, student ownership, equity, culture and climate, leadership, and innovation. And so essentially what we're saying at this point is if we had some big ideas that we believe, if delivered on well, would lead to a promise of excellence for all, that's what these ideas are at this point. So the graphic that appears in front of you now is an attempt to organize those 6 big ideas in a way that makes sense, and what you'll notice in going to the center of that screen is if all of these things intersect in meaningful ways, we will be able to deliver on the promise of excellence for all. And so you'll notice that's the intersection of student learning, student ownership, and equity surrounded by culture and climate, also guided by leadership, and then ultimately innovation. Community did not emerge as one of our 6 big ideas necessarily, but it is a theme that's sort of threaded through the ideas. And so it's a recognition that all this work is important, and it doesn't happen in a vacuum, that it does happen within the community, and acknowledges the important role that community plays in educating our students. So if you go to one of those first circles, you'll notice that circle is student learning. And so what's happened for each of these circles is we've done some work around belief statements. So what you also notice on this page is belief statements that have emerged to this point as it relates to student learning. And so we're interested to know what you think relative to those belief statements. Are they on point? Are there things you would say you might also want to consider this related to student learning? And basically that's what's going to happen through the rest of this process. So again, in front of you right now is student learning. This next screen is another one of the big ideas, and it's one of the 3 intersection points that we have in the center of the diagram, and that is student ownership and the corresponding belief statements that have emerged to this point related to student ownership. And our third piece in that grouping of student learning, student ownership, is equity. And so we have equity as one of those central ideas, and some belief statements related to equity. Again, by way of reminder, you've just heard about the first 3 central ideas, and then a recognition that there are other layers of work that are big ideas that would support delivering on the promise of excellence for all. One of those sort of surrounding concepts is the importance of culture and climate. So that's what you see on your screen now, and belief statements associated with culture and climate. Outside of that is leadership, and so again you see that as one of our belief statements, or one of our big ideas, and then the associated belief statements. We also have innovation as one of our big ideas. And on this screen, you'll notice the belief statements that are created to this point relative to innovation. And with that, thank you for taking this time to provide us with feedback on these 6 big ideas. And then we also would like some input. We didn't get to this part in the work yet in terms of belief statements related to community, so we certainly would invite thinking that you might have relative to this sort of threading theme, which is community. And with that, thank you for your time in giving us this powerful feedback. We will take this information and as a committee use it to further refine and improve our work into April and May, with an idea that we'll take this to the board for possible approval in June. Thanks again.